Hello, Roadrunner fans. This is JJ Perez, and welcome back to another episode of the 13 Questions podcast, where I sit down and talk with different people inside of UTSA football and ask them the same 13 questions throughout this 2023 football season. We are in week 4 of the 2023 football season. The Roadrunners are 1-2, coming off a pretty rough showing against Army in week 3. Went right for UTSA on defense as Army really just pushed them around in week 3, and that kind of led to the loss. We saw the offense play a little bit better than maybe what was expected under a new starting quarterback with starter Frank Harris sidelined with a turf toe. The Roadrunners have another physical matchup this week as they travel to Tennessee for a top 25 showdown against, the Volunteers. I think they're ranked number 23 this week, coming off a really bad loss to Florida. So interesting times for UTSA. Obviously not the start to the season anyone really envisioned. I think in my predictions I had the Roadrunners at 2-1 at this point. They're 1-2, and really I don't know that they can feel good about a lot of things that has happened so far this season, but there's still a lot of football left. UTSA opens conference play the week after next. They are idle next week after this Tennessee game, so we'll see how the Roadrunners bounce back. Today on the podcast, we are joined by wide receiver Joshua Cephus, one of the returners and the leader of the offense. One of the leaders of the offense. Cephus has started this season off, pretty good, all things considered. Obviously, the offensive production so far this year hasn't been great, but it's looks like it could be trending in the right direction. We sit down and talk with Josh about the 13 questions, and we do get into his off-the-field troubles he had in the off-season. So, Josh was pretty forthcoming. I think people are going to enjoy our conversation. We recorded it at the Jeff Traylor radio show on Tuesday night. So that's why you hear some of the background noise, but hopefully all of the audio comes through for you guys to listen. And here we go. Joshua Cephus on the 13 Questions podcast. JJ Perez here with Inside Runner Sports. 13 Questions podcast. I don't know if you remember, I started this last year. You came on, you answered some questions for me, Josh.
Yeah, I definitely remember.
All right, so just get into it. Got 13 new questions for you.
Okay.
Number 1, you have to pick a chore or obligation to do for 1 year, but if you make it the whole year, you never have to do it again. So, like a chore you don't like doing.
Ooh. I would probably say the dishes.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
I hate doing dishes.
Yeah. No, mine was the trash. I've been a lot of dishes and cleaning. That's what I've heard. Question number 2: can you describe how you are as a spectator watching football on TV?
As a spectator, I don't know if I could ever really. I think it's kind of hard for me to just watch the game and enjoy it. I'm always analyzing, coaching something, what I feel like they could have called or if it was a good call.
Yeah, it's hard too, right? Because you don't have the all 22 film, they're all zoomed in, right?
Yeah, so I think I'm always just analyzing, probably trying to learn.
Yeah, coach was telling me he rewinds during the commercials.
All the time,
yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Question number 3: what is the app on your phone that you love using and think other people would love?
Does it have to be something that they don't know?
It could be anything. Yeah, anything.
I think people will love Bible trivia.
Okay.
I think it'll actually inform people. You know what I'm saying about the Bible and who God is, who Jesus Christ is. So I feel like that'd be a great app for people to find out about.
That's cool. I didn't know you're big on religion.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think a lot of people realize that about you. How long have you been in that?
Man, since a child. I grew up in the church. My grandfather was a pastor. My dad's a reverend. He preached a couple of times too. So
okay.
My mom was the choir director.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
I was always involved in the church. So.
Yeah. No, good. What was it? Bible trivia?
Bible trivia.
Yeah, I got to check that one out. Good one. Question number 4: if you were allowed to relocate anywhere in the world, the United States, anywhere, where else would you think you'd want to live and why?
Honestly, I love Houston. Like, I'm from Houston,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't think I can see myself living anywhere other than Houston. I think I'll just go visit those places in the world. But
Yeah.
I think Houston has everything I need, so Houston is
a lot of people from Houston love it. Like, what is it about that town? Like, I've been there a lot. Obviously, we play. I go back and forth. But just, I mean, how would you describe it to someone who's never been there?
I think it has a lot of variety, like in food and activities.
Okay.
Just social life, period. I think it just has a lot of variety.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Awesome. Question number 5. This is a question I struggle with. When you see a hater on Twitter or social media or somewhere, what do you do? I don't think I've ever seen you go back and forth with anybody, but do you block? Do you mute? Do you ignore? What's the thought process there?
I just try to ignore it. Sometimes I've gotten close a couple times to say something.
Yeah.
But I'm like, not like most of the time they don't see what we see or have the information that we have. So I feel like it's a lot of misinformation online. So I just try to ignore it.
It's hard because it's a lot, right? I know I see a lot. I especially when things are going good. You guys must see a ton, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Question number 6. What makes you laugh during football games?
What makes me laugh during football? A team that we're beating and they're talking like they're winning.
Smack talk, yeah.
Yeah, I'll just laugh at them. What else?
What's the lamest or funniest, I guess, trash talk you've heard recently?
I don't know. I don't think I've heard any. Well, yeah, I don't think I've heard anything funny yet. Probably just them saying that I suck or something.
Yeah.
Just like one in a row.
Yeah.
Probably that. Yeah.
Awesome. Question number 7. Who is a person you would be starstruck if you met?
I would probably starstruck. I'd probably say Lil Baby or Chris Brown.
Okay, yeah. The musicians, you're a big fan of their music?
Facts,
Yeah.
Those are my top 2 favorite artists.
Oh, really? Yeah, no, that's awesome. If I met my favorite artist, I know I'd be starstruck. So. Question number 8. What do you do to make yourself feel better when you're having a crappy day?
Probably go to sleep.
Okay.
Or I'll probably just pray or read. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it hard to reset like that, or is it easy just to like have a bad day, like stay in it,
Me personally, I'm a pretty optimistic person. Like, no matter how bad it is, like,
okay.
I think I do a great job of finding the good and stuff. So, like, I don't think I've ever really gotten just too down.
Got you.
Yeah, I'm always pretty optimistic. So if I feel bad, I'll probably just go to sleep, and then when I wake up, I'll be fine.
Awesome. Yeah. Question number 9. Have you achieved your childhood dream?
I'd say one of them, not the main one. I want to go to the NFL. That's definitely my childhood dream. I've always dreamed of playing in the NFL, changing the life of my family and myself. So I think I'm gonna do that soon. I think I can say I'm close to that.
What's the one that you achieved already? You said you achieved one. You think?
Playing in college.
Yeah, D1, right? Yeah,
D1.
Like not everybody goes D1. That's a lot of kids dream about that, right? Yeah, awesome. Question number 10. What life lessons from a young age stick with you as a young adult?
I would say my optimism. Yeah, I think I'm
Optimist.
I think my optimism came from my childhood.
Yeah.
Just little things like I may get a little deep here. Well, it's not not too deep for me, but like not having no water, like growing up without light sometimes.
Yeah.
Just like stuff like that. I think I did a great job of just being like optimistic and just I guess being okay with it, you know, finding a way to get through that.
Where does that come from? Your parents?
Honestly, I don't know. To be honest, I think that just may be one of the gifts that God gave me. Because I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure where that comes from. I've just always been positive.
That's awesome. That's a great trait. Question number 11. What is the single most important skill that a football player must possess?
Football player. I think the best one would probably, for skill position.
Yeah.
For skill position, I would probably say ball skills.
Okay.
Yeah. Because, I would say speed too.
Yeah.
But if you have ball skills, you can
make up for it a little bit.
Head,
Yeah.
go on somebody's head. So
yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily speed.
How do you hone that? How do you get better at just keep doing the reps over and over? And it's just hand-eye coordination?
Yeah, like 10,000 hour rule. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. So just practice.
Got you. Good answer there. Question number 12 of 13. You have to lose all of your memories in your football career, but you get to keep one. What football memory do you want to hold on to forever?
One of the championship rings.
Okay, yeah.
It don't matter which one, but definitely let me think about it so I can specify. 21 or 22.
What do you remember most about those championships? Like in the game, or like the atmosphere afterwards, or
the most after the game? Definitely like I guess realizing like, oh my gosh, like we won.
Yep.
The atmosphere in both games was crazy. It was a packed stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely after the game and the atmosphere during the game.
Yeah. Awesome. Josh, question number 13 of 13 questions. Appreciate you coming on. This will wrap it up. Just how hard was this offseason for you? Obviously, you went through a lot off the field, kind of still going through it a little bit. Just like, what did you learn about yourself?
Like you said, it was hard. I think I learned even more to trust God and trust my process. I feel like with the situation with the DWI, I was at I guess you could say my highest in my life that I've ever been as far as accomplishment. Just feeling good, and then for that to happen, it just let me know how high you can be and then how quickly you can fall off. So I think it just kept me humble. Because without the situation, I probably would have kept doing it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I probably would have. I could have turned arrogant after it because I felt so good. What else? I feel like I learned a lot. I think it made me more mature. Helped me realize actually how dangerous it really is and how many people do it so often.
Yeah.
Man, I could go on and on.
Those are some pretty valuable lessons for a young guy. There's adults my age that probably don't even know about that stuff.
Yeah.
Is that hard to deal with, or you feel lucky?
I feel lucky because I always say, or whenever I tell my story, I just always say that I could have been one car away or one rock away from either dying or from killing somebody else, just stuff like that. Ended up like Henry Ruggs did, I'm just grateful to God that it wasn't as bad as any of those situations that I just named. But it's definitely been hard, but you can do all things through Christ Jesus. So I'm trusting Him fully with my process, with everything that's going on right now as well. So I think I'll be fine.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that, and I think that message will resonate with a lot of people. People make mistakes, right? Yeah. It's about the second chance.
Bounce back, definitely.
Yeah. Josh, 13 Questions Podcast. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. That was UTSA wide receiver Joshua Cephus on the 13 Questions Podcast. I appreciate Josh taking the time there. We recorded that kind of in the middle of a restaurant, in the middle of the radio show. So looks like Josh is poised for a big season. Pretty interesting fellow. I didn't realize he was so religious and had that background and upbringing. So that was pretty interesting. It's always interesting to learn a little bit more about where people come from, how they grew up. We're all people at the end of the day, so we all have our own individual stories. So I try to take, sometimes I'm an older guy, so you try to take what some of the lessons some of these young guys go through and maybe apply it to your own life. So certainly appreciate Josh being forthcoming about his off the field issues as well. It would have been, I tweeted this when we first talked to Josh about the DWI situation in the preseason, that it would be easy for him to say no comment and just move past it. It is a pending legal issue, but he hasn't shied away from talking about it. So I respect him for that. I know it's a difficult situation, and I appreciate him, continuing to talk and be open and forthcoming about that. So that'll wrap up this edition of the 13 Questions podcast. I appreciate you guys listening. We'll be back next week with another edition. Thanks a lot.